Please help me welcome to the stage our next headliner for this evening. You're going to absolutely love him. You've heard him on Sirius Satellite Radio and on Bob and Tom. From Louisville, Kentucky, give it up for Mark Klein.
Well, thank you all so much for coming out to our theater show tonight. My name is Mark Klein, and my father was my hero in life. He was a World War II veteran, went on Pearl Harbor on the island of the Saipan in the South Pacific. They teach your children in school that World War II ended in 1945 on the deck of the USS Missouri, a battleship in Tokyo Bay when the Imperial Japanese government of Emperor Hirohito surrendered to American Generals MacArthur and Wainwright. That's not exactly true. World War II ended in 1996 when my father bought a Toyota. That is when. He and my mom were married for 48 years, and when she passed away, of course, my dad went into mourning. He spent a year of mourning, didn't want to go out, didn't want to do anything. Then he made a choice. He made a conscious choice, a touching choice, a human and heroic choice. He chose to live again. He chose to be alive again. Her book of life is closed. His book of life was open. He started going out again. I'm going to tell you something. Women loved my dad. Women absolutely loved my dad. Every week there'd be 5 or 6 ladies that are all 85 years old. They'd call him. Let's go get supper. Let's go see a show. Let's go see a movie. I say, Pop, what's the appeal? What's making these women so crazy for you? He said, I drive at night. That was my dad. If you want to have fun, you go somewhere with my father. I took him to a Waffle House restaurant for breakfast one morning. Now my father, when he was 90, he would flirt with any woman in the world. This man had no fear. He had no filter. He would flirt with any woman in the world. The waitress would bring him coffee. She'd go, sir, how do you like your coffee? My dad said, I like my coffee like I like my women. She said, I'm sorry, sir, we don't serve 85-year-old coffee. When he was 90, he wanted a new wardrobe. 90 years old, wanted a new wardrobe. I said, okay, I took him to Kohl's department store. Do they have Kohl's where you live? My father loves Kohl's because they would send him coupons. So I took him to Kohl's. Picture my father in Kohl's department store, 90 years old, World War II veteran's cap on, a full 4-wheel walker, big old thick glasses, doubling hearing aids. He holds up a cardigan. He says, son, tell me the truth. Does this sweater make me look old? My father had no fear. He had no filter. He was an amazing human being. He would wear anything at any time. His fashion sense, he blew that out long ago. My life's goal for many years was to find a Hawaiian shirt so ugly my father refuses to wear it. And I almost had one. I came so close in the Caribbean a couple years ago. I found a Hawaiian shirt, and it was purple, pink, and yellow. It had palm trees and pineapples on the front. On the back was a life-size Hawaiian woman from the waist up, and all she had on was a smile on her face. He wore it to a wedding. No fear, no filter. He would play poker every week with under 90-year-old men, and in his nursing home they would play poker every week. My father and 6 other 90-year-old men. To watch this game was a test of the soul. The guy who couldn't see would deal. The guy who couldn't hear would make change. And their favorite game was a game that they came up with, a 7-card stud variant called Little Red Hen. Ever hear of it? Of course not, because they made it up. Here is an approximation of the rules. 7-card stud poker, 2 cards face down, 4 cards face up, 1 card face down. Your lowest card face down is wild, only if it matches a card like it face up. That hand splits the pot with the highest black card face down. These men didn't know what they had for breakfast. What he brought to my life was advice in every phase of my life. And that was one of the great blessings of my father's life, is to give advice to his children. He came to me on my wedding day with advice. He said, son, don't ever cheat on your wife. You don't want to risk your life's happiness for 8 minutes of pleasure. I said, you're up to 8 minutes? people hear that I'm married, they said, does your wife think you're funny? I said, oh yes. I say, honey, do you want to fool around? She laughs. He did tell me when I got married, he said, son, the secret to being married is you just have to be prepared to do things you never thought in your life you'd have to do. And that's very true. Advice in all areas, things you never thought you'd have to do. And it continues all through your married life. This year, my wife decided that she would like to have something out in our backyard called raised garden beds. You ever hear of such a thing? Raised garden beds. Let me tell you something about where I live. I live in the Highland section of Louisville, Kentucky. We have some of the richest alluvial farm soil in the Ohio River Valley. You spit off my back porch, you got a full-grown sugar maple tree in about 8 weeks, all right? But she wanted raised garden beds. So I go to Home Depot and start picking out lumber, because I've been married 25 years and I want to see number 26. She wants it, she gets it. I'm in Home Depot, I'm picking out pressure-treated yellow pine. I called her up, I said, honey, I'm in Home Depot, I'm buying pressure-treated yellow pine for raised garden beds. How much do I get? She goes, I don't want pressure-treated lumber. I don't want chemicals near our vegetables. I said, really? You dye your hair, paint your nails, and you're taking hormone replacement therapy. But I can't have chemicals near our vegetables. So I go back and I pick out cypress wood. So that's okay for that too. I pick out cypress wood, which isn't cheap, all right? We're talking about a 4 foot more than I paid for any suit I ever bought. I take it all home. And now I start shoveling our dirt into it, these raised garden beds. She comes out, no, I don't want our yard dirt. I want garden soil from Home Depot. It's $36 a bag. They weigh 75 pounds a piece. We need 120 bags. This is starting to get kind of expensive. And yes, ma'am, I'm a man, so I kick at the price a little bit. She says, you don't worry about the price. When these vegetables come in, we'll eat like millionaires. And you know she's right. This year my tomatoes cost $145 a piece. You just get out there and you do things that you love to do, and some of it comes along natural and some of them done it. I'll tell you another reason my father was a hero in my life. My mother, he nursed my mother through a cancer illness for many years. When she finally passed away, I said, Pop, what do you want to do? He looked at my calendar. He said, son, I want to travel. I've been taking care of your mom. I want to travel. I said, well, here's my comedy schedule. Any place you want to go that I'm on there, you go with me. He sees Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, my father took his basic training for World War II in Biloxi, Mississippi in 1944. He had been back over 50 years. So I said, fine, you come with me to Biloxi. 14-hour drive, Louisville, Kentucky to Biloxi, Mississippi. 2 shows that night at a place called Casino Magic on the Gulf Coast. The shows were sponsored by the people at Anheuser-Busch, and they make Budweiser and Budweiser products. And to promote the show, they sent over the Bud Light Girls. Now, who are the Bud Light Girls? Well, there's these 21-year-old spokesmodels. They are pretty as they can be, and I will say they were rather scantily clad. They put more cotton at the top of an aspirin bottle than what these girls have on. And during my shows, my father is flirting with the Bud Light Girls. So I come off stage, and he's got 2 Bud Light Girls standing there. And I said, Pop, come on. I had a long drive, and we had 2 shows. Let's go to the hotel room and get some sleep. Well, he's got these 2 beautiful girls there. He goes, son, you're still a young man. Why don't you go play some blackjack? Come back in an hour. I said, okay, Pop. I come back an hour later. Now he's got four Bud Light Girls there. And they're rubbing his old bald head. They got a Budweiser beach towel around his neck. He's got a free Budweiser in his hand now. He looks like the Sultan of Bahrain. He's in these girls like hair and a biscuit. He's not going anywhere. So I said, come on, Pop, I had a long drive and I'm awful tired. Let's get some sleep. He goes, you know, son, Mississippi Coast is on Central Time. Louisville, Kentucky's on Eastern Time. Actually, it's 1 whole hour earlier than what you think it is. Who can argue with a man like that? I said, okay, Papa, come back an hour later. Now he has all 8 Bud Light Girls there. And he's telling them his World War II stories. How he swam across the ocean both ways uphill. I was tired, I was clunky, I had enough. I said, Pop, damn it, you know what time it is? He said, yep, I do. It's 1944. You can get the hell out of here. I'll close with my father's favorite joke. He lived, he was 92, he loved jokes, knew 1,000 jokes. This is his favorite joke. Hotel bar, Las Vegas, Nevada. 90-year-old man at one end, gorgeous young woman at the other end. He approaches her. What does he have to lose? He said, young lady, clearly I'm at the end of my journey, but you're at the beginning of yours, and I'll tell you something. I would give all that I have remaining to me to spend just one night again with a woman like you. She says, mister, I live here in Las Vegas, and what I do for a living is make men happy in the bedroom, and for $1,000 you can spend the night with me. And he figures, what the heck, it's good enough for the governor of New York, it's good enough for me, so they go up to his hotel room, they get in his room, they get out of their clothes, they get in bed, do 25 minutes of who knows what, they get all cleaned up, and she goes, well, and the old man goes,
right after this. Is that cool? So yeah, I'm gonna play
I don't know.
the post-show music.
She goes, you don't know? Mister, get back in there. Round 2, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. And there's grinding and thrashing and moaning and groaning and pawing and clawing, and the sheets are shredded, the pillow is torn, the lamp is knocked off the nightstand. 45 minutes of incredible human physical passion. They get all cleaned up, and she goes, well, and the old man goes, I don't know. She cannot believe her ears. You don't know? Get back in there. Round 3, an hour. He's 90, an hour. This time, there's human passion. There's human emotion. Names are called out. This time, the ceiling tiles came in. The carpet is shredded. The doors knocked off the hinges. An hour of this go by. They got all cleaned up, and she goes, well? And the old man goes, I don't know. She goes, what? What don't you know? He says, I don't know where I'm going to get $1,000. Hug your mom and dad while you can. You've been enjoyed and entertained. Thank you all for being with me. Good night, everybody.